Schnitzel.
Hello everybody, my name's Josh.
And I'm Sue Sylvester.
And we're here to give you
a reality check.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Halloween!
You guys couldn't tell, we definitely wanted to get in the Halloween spirit. Oh! Wasn't expecting that.
You're gonna get a reality.
Oh!
I'm just gonna apologize in advance.
Yeah, that was definitely something.
Mm-hmm.
I am just a goer of Oktoberfest.
I am dressed as Sue Sylvester, the gym coach from Glee.
Yeah.
I need my glasses on. I can't read my notes. If you love all things reality TV competition, Drag Race, Survivor, Big Brother, The Summit, and everything in between, we're your new best friends, and we're here to give you a reality check on all things reality TV. So grab a snack, grab a seat, and let's get back into Survivor 47, Episode 7.
So we start off this episode.
Yeah.
We have a tribe name.
Episode 7, we are finally introduced to our merged tribe's name.
Miss Becca.
The Becca tribe, which is Fijian for bat.
Look it. It's freaking bats.
Which I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. There's bats on the buffs, there's bats on the flags, bats on the community necklace.
I guess the theme is bats this year.
Yeah. It's giving Becca from Pitch Perfect.
Listen,
like,
Becca. You did Becca.
Let's stop talking about the bats.
And let's dive into the episode.
And let's get into the episode. So, what did you think overall? Because this episode was crazy. We had very emotional moments. We had new alliances form. We had we had new rewards, new twists. Like, episode 7 was
a
lot.
And as we say every week, one of the best episodes of the new era.
In my opinion. I don't know if I agree with you. I thought that it was a very entertaining episode, but I think, and we'll get into this in a little bit, there's a lot of interjection by production, it feels like. It almost feels like they're scared to not have interesting people, so they're throwing in all these twists, which we'll get into, but I want to discuss what we first see when the episode opens up.
The episode opens up, and we see Soul and Andy having a little chitty chat.
Yeah, because Soul was one of the only 2 people that threw votes on Andy.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I mean, when they were at the reward, the previous episode, they had a conversation that there needs to be some kind of backup.
Yeah.
Andy's name was brought out. I understand, production-wise, it makes sense why he put Andy's name. It obviously just does not look good for him as a player right now.
Right. And he even told Andy, I think Soul really actually, excuse me, I think Soul really navigated this moment well, because it could have just been like a, screw you, Soul, we're never going to work together again. But by the end of it, they were together. They were kind of like alliance.
I wrote down. I said Soul and Andy versus Gata? Question mark?
I have that too. I was like, So the one thing that Andy kind of did gag Soul about that I was like, period. He was like, okay, you didn't want me to. You were 100% certain that you didn't want me to go, but you were also 100% certain that if Rome played an idol, I would be going.
Yep.
So he was like, make it make sense.
Analytical Andy.
He went boom, boom.
Which then also follows with the next scene of him being at the beach by himself.
Yeah.
He couldn't really sleep that much. He literally was writing in the sand.
It was back to the Genevieve's mind board.
Yes, over the place.
He had the plan out.
Mm-hmm.
And, this was that first moment where the real cracks in the Sam, Andy, and Sierra alliance, I think, started, because Soul kind of pulled the grenade and
he threw it. Yeah, listen. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, as he should, because Soul needs to be focusing on his game, and he's seeing the crack.
Soul has finally woken up.
Yes.
Really happy about that.
I think that Soul and Andy would work very well together.
I do too, because I think Andy's kind of very front-word game style, and Soul's kind of doesn't even really know if he's playing yet, how he's playing yet, laid back style can really balance each other well.
He is definitely a little bit more laid back, but this kind of shot us forward towards, Genevieve going to see Andy on the beach.
Yeah.
Genevieve and Andy are going to be potentially working together, and Soul. I would love to see that trio.
And yeah, I was really excited and energized by this moment we get in the beginning to kind of again see that everybody's counting Andy out, but somehow he still manages to kind of make lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah, and I mean, he's doing a great job at it.
And I just need to say, this moment, again, every time Genevieve is on my screen, I need to know...
Who's your dentist?
Who is your dentist?
Girl.
What kind of toothpaste are they using on the island?
Her teeth are perfect.
I need some of those...
And they're 13 days and they're that white.
I need some of those Fijian coconuts. Like, I don't know what it is, the salt water.
The sugar cane sticks, whatever they're doing.
I need it. Genevieve, your teeth are beautiful. You are beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Your gameplay is beautiful.
Listen, as it should. So I have a question for you. We see a little bit of a women's alliance forming.
We see the idea of a women's alliance.
The Teeny, Sierra, Rachel, Tiana.
Yeah.
That conversation sparks up. How do you feel about it? Are you here for the women alliance?
I am always here for empowered women. I'm also, like Teeny said, always here for eating men. And so I think, but like Teeny said as well, I do almost feel like it's kind of like the golden goose at this point. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to get it to happen because there's so many interests that you have to align. And not only that, we're both extremely flaming homosexuals. We love our ladies.
Listen, we're here for the gays and the gals.
Women are crazy. I'll just say it. Like, I have a twin sister, like, whatever. It changes like that. So to have 7 women, how many women are left? 7 at this point? Sue, Tiana, Rachel, Sierra, Caroline.
7, yeah.
7 women all on the same page at the same time.
It's dangerous.
It's tough, but I would love for it to happen. And I don't think that this week's twist did them any favors.
No, I mean, you're automatically split into 2 tribes. You don't know who's on your tribe because it's a rock pick.
Yeah.
And then at that, the winner of the challenge, that entire group is saved.
Yeah. That
is definitely... So I want to touch base on that a little bit because it definitely is drawing a divide in the Survivor family.
Let's get into this immunity challenge because...
Did you like the group? Not that it's not the group for me. It's the group immunity. How do we feel about that?
I am a big proponent of, like, I love when they try new things on Survivor. Yeah. I love when they, see what sticks, see what doesn't. But my thing was, like, we already had the mergatory twist, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They had the individual immunity portion. They did the teams. They had the reward. And now it's like, okay, so that wasn't. And then it's like, there hasn't been an entire group feast yet.
I was about to say, is that the merge feast?
I don't understand. I can't, like, right now, I can't see where it's going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How did you feel?
No, I think you hit it right on target with that one. I don't know what direction it's going because we now have 2 merge twists, back-to-back episodes.
Yeah.
We haven't had a merge feast. The only official anything that they really gave us was purple buffs and the name on the tribe.
Yeah.
We didn't see them even write their names on their little tribe flag. Like, usually we get a little moment of something. You see them having a bonding moment. We haven't seen much of that merge family, like, kumbaya.
Yeah, like the whole unity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The unity of it all. So
I agree with you. I think as far as the actual twist goes, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I thought it was interesting that I liked that they gave one whole team immunity. What I didn't like was that then the best performing player from the losing tribe got immunity, and then we'll get into the advantage that was found later also gave somebody
an advantage,
safety. Yeah, so it was like you're condemning these people to a tribal, and then you're taking out 2 of the 6 options.
It was a lot.
There was
just a lot of variables, and there was a lot of moving pieces simultaneously, and I just feel like it kind of just happened. Like, we weren't really built up for it.
I would have loved if this was the this was the merge twist.
Yeah.
If they did this, because in the new era, that's like earn the merge, the whole thing. If they had stuck to that kind of format in this way, I think giving the best performing person on the losing tribe individual immunity, that's fair. Sure, that's fair. There's usually somebody safe at tribal in the individual portion of the game anyway. So if they had done this right when they had merged, I think it would have been received better by the fandom and it would have made more sense.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
I don't know.
So we get to the challenge and it's 2 teams. It's the yellow team and the blue team. Yellow team, Sam, Andy, Soul, Teeny, Sierra, Genevieve. Blue team is Rachel, Caroline, Sue, Gabe, Tiana, and Kyle.
Have you noticed how every time they do challenges that split them in half, they only use yellow and blue?
I did notice that. But what's the significance?
I feel like, and hear me out, they started with red, yellow, and blue.
Yeah.
Their merge tribe buff is purple. They should have been using red and blue this whole time, because if you mix red and blue, you get purple. So all of these reward challenges where they split them in half, if they had been doing red team and blue team and then merged into purple, that would have been.
I could
just
see.
The color story for me would have made more sense.
The colors. Listen, it's the little details that matter over here.
I don't know. It's just something I noticed. It's like, because the merge color doesn't necessarily like mean anything, but if you're gonna make it a point to like constantly be splitting them up, you know, make the color make sense.
Put a little story behind it.
If they had merged into green buffs, it would make sense.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. That was just something I noticed. But what did you think about this actual
challenge?
The challenge itself.
So the challenge was like, I don't know, a 15-foot pole that you're bouncing on top of your head on a little platform with a ball at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this a new challenge? Is this a new challenge?
No, they've done this in the past.
A different variation.
Instead of a ball, it was like a totem.
Yeah, so the totem fall. Yeah.
I think we've seen similar.
Something along those lines. I didn't hate the challenge. I did notice that there was a lot of wind during the challenge, so not that Survivor. You listen, it's Survivor, and you got to deal with the elements that are around you. And I'm not saying I'm not mad about it. It's just, that's just a variable that I saw. I think that it obviously affected gameplay. I wrote the out order in, and like the Andy, Rachel, Sierra, Tiana, Soul, Sue. Those were the first 6 to go out. I was a little surprised to see. Like, I don't know. I feel like more than everybody's kind of strong at this point, but I don't know. I thought I was going to see Soul go a little bit longer. Yeah. I thought I was going to see Sierra a little bit longer. I thought I was going to see Sue a little bit longer.
I mean, I agree with you. I think that these kind of challenges, like, these just don't necessarily bode well for strong people.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, like bodybuilder type of like
muscles, like big muscles.
Soul's a big dude.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight to balance. And then his arms are probably half my body weight holding up that gigantic pole. So like it's a lot for bigger men to participate in balance challenges, but I don't know. I think Sue held her own. She beat Andy, Soul. Like, Sue, for anybody who's out there saying that she can't keep up or anything, she's never once gone out first in a challenge. She's never, like, just been absolutely curb stomped in anything. So
that is true.
It's just,
she's holding her own.
It's just unfortunate that because of she is a little bit older, like, it's immediately categorized as weakness. But
and it's crazy because
it's wisdom, baby.
In old Survivor, it wasn't necessarily always like that, because you can look at like Bob Crowley, for example, at Gabon. He was winning individual immunity back to back. Like, he was winning immunity so much. So like, why are we correlating age with physical ability? I don't know.
I also think that the challenges really used to cater to a very wide variety of strengths. We would have so many different ones that weren't just balance or weren't just a puzzle. Like, the challenges, I think, used to be way more not level, but I guess interesting is the word. I don't know. I feel like the individual immunities, I don't know. It's like balance this ball or balance your body and hold this or pull this rope and climb through this, or I don't know.
I understand why. They're trying to find equalizers for everybody. That makes sense, but how many times are you going to rinse and repeat the same style? And I understand your point, and it makes sense. So we get down to the final 3 in this challenge. It's Kyle on blue versus Genevieve and Teeny on yellow. And this is where the win comment, I think, really plays in, because at that moment, there was a really big gust of wind, and I didn't know who was going to fall. Kyle, Teeny, Genevieve. Like, I don't know if you all saw, but they were all kind of shaking at the same time. So
those poles, they weren't just like normal, like,
it was like javelin.
They were like
huge.
I don't think that the scale and the true grandeur of that challenge was like accurately demonstrated. It just kind of looks like a pole.
Yeah.
But I mean, once I saw Sam like literally convulsing,
yeah,
I was like, oh, those look heavy.
Yeah. Oh, like, yeah. Like his body was definitely feeling dead weight style for a while.
Also, Sam, I want to know what your tattoo is. There's like 4 stars, 4 or 5 stars.
I did
here.
see it. I did see it.
I want to know what that is.
Is it for Converse?
Not him having a Chuck Taylor brand deal.
The Chuck Taylor is crazy. The Chucks.
So the challenge ultimately ends as they do. Kyle couldn't hang on and beat the full magnitude of just female strength.
Genevieve and Teeny.
Yeah.
They came through and they came to play.
There it is.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
So he wins individual immunity as the longest standing person from the losing tribe.
Yes.
And the entire yellow team, which is Andy, Genevieve, Teeny, Sam, Sierra, and Soul are safe and get reward.
They get reward. They also are going to be sitting in on tribal council.
Yeah.
No votes for them. No votes. They can't cast a vote and they can't get a vote. So we get to the reward.
You know what I'm pissed about?
What?
I wanted Kyle to be on the winning tribe for one reason and one reason only.
To see if they had a vegan hot dog?
To see what kind of vegan ribs he was going to get.
Would they have given him vegan ribs?
I don't know, but if they looked anything like that hot dog, I would have been like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. We saw the ribs, the potato salad, the whole nine.
Like,
it looked...
Not often do Survivor food rewards make me salivate.
Yeah.
You know, we're not deprived of food.
Never.
And we're not deprived at all, honey. And so when I saw those ribs and the way Soul was smacking on that
potato salad,
the communal potato salad spoon, first of all, I was like, that looks so good.
Good. He was making sure that he licked all that potato
salad. I don't know if it was the way the Soul was eating it or the actual potato salad.
Okay, let's keep it PG-13 here. So
I've never been jealous of a wooden spoon in my life.
Okay. Everybody's having a little meal. You know, they're all sitting at the table, 6 strong.
Because they ate.
They're starting to talk who they think is going out because I don't know if we discussed this yet, but the blue tribe was the entire Tuku tribe.
Oh my god, we didn't even talk about that.
Plus Rachel.
Yeah, it was literally that. I'm so sorry. As far as rock draws go in Survivor history, that's got to be up there for shittiest rock draws.
Shittiest rock draws.
Talk about Halloween. I got a rock. Like, she got a rock.
No, like, and it was so... Like, I just feel so bad for her. Like, she was she was just set up for failure in that moment. Mm-hmm. Not like in terms of the tribe dynamic for strength for the challenge.
Yeah.
In terms of just social ability, what's going on, do you have a fair fight in your game? She was basically set up to fail.
Yeah, I mean, they gave Rachel a knife to a gunfight.
And she had to charge 150 feet. Like, there's no way she's winning.
Yeah, I feel like, and so I actually did see on Annika's Instagram story today that she was kind of talking about her and Rachel's dynamic, and she had said, like, I don't know why they're not showing more of Rachel because she is so intertwined in all the conversations and really personable. So I was kind of excited to see what was going to happen because I knew that Tuku had cracks. Yeah. So I was excited for Rachel to hopefully go in there and kind of wiggle her way around.
Honestly, at this point, Rachel was in a great position to start to get new allies because we saw previously, you know, Annika's gone. She's at the bottom of her Gata alliance. She doesn't have a super strong alliance with the Lavo people, but she was involved with talks for the Women's Alliance.
Yeah.
Her getting involved in Tuku, although from a viewer's point of view, obviously it looked like it wasn't strong, but little did we know, it could have been the best thing for her game.
I really do think, again, it was like lemonade out of lemons for Rachel. I think that it was just so interesting. I also want to say at this point in the episode, I don't know if it was just me feeling this, it felt like the episode was going so fast. Like within the first, it felt like 15 minutes, we had done a challenge, already eaten all the food of the reward, and now we were on to the like post-immunity strategy of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it did go pretty fast, but I'm not gonna lie, I did like the time that we got to see because that was a tea session that I was waiting to get spilled because Rachel finding cracks in Tuku was honestly like I'm sitting there with my little popcorn and I'm like, girl, you better get that crack. Like So I want to ask you. We're at the reward. We're at the reward feast.
Yeah, the winners meal.
Feast. You see that
baby back.
You see that everybody is starting to get antsy. How do you feel about how Andy and Soul were originally going about looking for that little idol? Although we didn't know that there was going to be any advantage.
Yeah.
Obviously, as Survivor watchers, we know that there's always usually something at those rewards. But how did you feel about their strategies trying to sneak and then get caught?
I think, well, for me personally, like as we were going into that reward, I wasn't anticipating there being something at the reward. I was anticipating there being something at the camp that they went back to. I think if you're not, we always say this when we go places, like every opportunity is an opportunity, like every outing is an opportunity. So I think, are there ways to be more clever about your search, Andy? Yes, but if you're not looking, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Underneath the ball.
Like I think Andy is just so like big and doofy, like, and I don't mean that negatively at all. He's just like one of those people that
he's not quiet about it.
Yeah, he can't, like, if he was here, I feel like he'd be like slamming pots and pans. Like,
he's the guy at the slumber party who's walking on the stairs and isn't trying to tiptoe on the
has
corners.
His phone on full volume watching TikToks at 3 a.m.
Has the 7:30 alarm and does not have it on silent.
Right. So I just feel like kudos to you for looking. You should be always aware and looking, but I think that there's more of like an incognito tab way to be doing it.
Which we got from Soul.
Yeah, we did. Soul has finally
gotten some. Listen, he got his little lick of power, and he said, "I'm gonna use this."
Some reprieve from the. I think that this is the Survivor gods being like, you had to deal with a lot your first few days.
Yeah,
so
let's give you a little.
Here's your little reward, and here's your little safety for the merge, and I'm glad that Soul found it. I'm glad that we're getting to see. Okay, so Soul finds the advantage.
I was going to say, let's talk about it. The advantage. Walk us through it. What is the advantage?
So they're all taking a big old food coma nap after their baby back ribs and potato salad.
As we all would if we haven't eaten
as we all would. Yeah. And Soul finds a teeny tiny little advantage. Andy had taken a look for it, couldn't find it. And Soul kind of just like, it was literally right behind him the whole time, and he just like stumbled upon it. He was able to grab it without being detected, which was great. And it's a big advantage. It is an advantage that I would be pissed because I'm like, I finally find something and it's not even for me.
I know he has to use it on somebody else.
Yeah. So the advantage basically boils down to you have a choice. He has to pick one of the members from the losing tribe to decide between either a block a vote or a safety without power advantage. Big advantage. What do you think of the choices?
So I think that anybody who is in that position, obviously you want to be saved without power.
Right.
Just because, if you block a vote, depending on how, in that case, there were 6 people, you're now one of 5.
Block the majority.
Exactly. You went from what, I can't do the percentages in my head, but like, you
good, got good to just like slightly less good.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you're going to choose, or you're going to hope that you're getting the one that is, at least you're safe for the day. Right. You're sleeping another night. You're making it to at least another tribal, and it gives you another opportunity to win an immunity necklace. The advantage as a whole, I don't know if I was a fan of the advantage at this point in the game. Like, maybe if that was something that they did in 3 tribes where they had a little bit less, like, I don't know. I don't know what I would have done with that advantage, but maybe if they did a little bit, I don't know, something different. I don't know. It just wasn't for me.
I feel like the 2 advantages weren't equivalent. Block a vote and safety without power is like
left and right. Yeah,
it's like night and day. I feel like if it was a
block a vote or steal
a vote
or an extra vote,
like something like that, like together, something where they both had to do with the vote, or like something like that, or like if it was safety without power, or you could, I don't know, something where they felt more even.
Yeah.
Because you read that and I'm like, obviously,
give me safety.
I'm out.
Snap my torch so I'm walking back in the dark. At least I'm staying another day.
I would have been like, can somebody come with me?
No,
like,
no, but actually, like, the solo dolo was crazy. Like, do you think she walked all the way back by herself?
Oh, definitely. I think so.
You don't think she went slow to wait for other people?
Oh, I would be like dragging my feet.
My toes would go tippy-toe on that sand.
So Soul ends up bequeathing this advantage.
Be what?
Giving this advantage to
there we go.
Somebody on the losing tribe. And we as the viewer don't find out who it is right until the votes are about to be cast.
And let me tell you, although I was rooting for this a little bit at the bottom, I also was rooting for this to go a different direction.
I wanted it to go like you're saying.
Who did you want it to go to? We'll say it on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Gabe.
Sue.
Honestly,
you're nasty for that. I'm so sorry. So here's my thinking. So I actually wrote down in my book, before we were shown who it was, Soul will give advantage to Sue or Rachel. That was what I was guessing. The reason I said Sue was because we saw them have a moment where they were like
2 episodes ago.
We're old, we gotta stick together.
Yeah.
So I thought that it was gonna kind of be like that olive branch to like really lock that in. And Rachel, I wanted it to go to just for the full blown, like the scramble, the flip,
the break, the
goofery.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted Rachel to get it just so, like, it stirs the pot.
Imagine if he gave it to Kyle.
I mean, he wouldn't have been able to give it to Kyle.
Why not? He could block a vote. Or I
didn't think about that.
He uses safety without power and gives his immunity necklace to somebody.
Gagalina Marie. Then they both go home.
I thought it was a really great gameplay choice by Soul, personally, because it breaks up that 5 that could come back into the merge as a solidified 5, even though they wouldn't. People, they just look that way.
Yeah.
And it was just good. Now he has the doors open to work with Rachel and possibly even Gata, because we saw Sam and Sierra kind of like, come on, Rachel.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different dynamics, because it seems like if Soul is going that Gata route, I think that he's going to try to break up Sam and Sierra, because he has Andy.
Yeah.
He's going to get Rachel. He has ties with Sue. Sue has Caroline. Sue and Caroline, low-key, I feel like, know that Sam's a threat. They'll want to try. This just opens so many different possibilities for so many different relationships, alliances, bonds. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see what they're going to bring to the table.
I'm so interested to see what happens with the fallout of this advantage, because even in the moment, they were all like, who was it? And Soul could give him the Oscar.
And I was just about to say
the Oscar, because he was like, what is it? Huh? What is it?
His facial expressions were so iconic.
For a moment, I was like, wait,
who gave it to her?
Who was it? Yeah. So I was like, kudos to you, Soul. We see him finally like locked in. Do you think that anybody is suspicious of him just yet? Or is it too early to tell?
I think it's a little too early to tell. We didn't get that many context clues, because I think production did this great where they placed him in the middle front, so nobody really could turn around and see, and listen, Soul, we know that he's played poker. He knows how to keep a poker face. If there's anybody to have an advantage like this and to keep a secret, he's the guy.
Yeah, I also just don't think that anybody really, Soul is on anybody's radar of like gaming, scheming.
No, I mean, the only person that was like targeting Soul was Rome, and Rome's gone.
Right. So
this gives Soul a pretty clear walk to at least maybe Final 7. I don't know if I'm calling it too early.
No,
but...
don't jinx him. Knock on wood.
Knock on Lederhosen.
Yeah, knock on Lederhosen. So kind of walking deeper into this tribal council, we're officially into the tribal, and it's time to find out kind of what's going on. And at this point, no advantage has been shown. We don't know who it's going to, and it's just kind of all up in the air. It looks like it's going to be Rachel, but there's this potential to possibly flip onto Gabe. It really all at this moment comes down to Caroline.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you, talk about power in tribal council.
Yeah, pre-advantage, it was all in Caroline's hands.
I need to give Caroline her flowers right now. Girl, I was counting you out for a while. I'll be honest.
Oh no, go back to episode, what is it, 2 or 3? Certified Caroline hater.
No, certified Caroline hater.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, she's not playing the game. She's just going to be used as a pawn.
Yeah.
She is playing the game. She is rallying both sides. She is talking to everybody. Mm-hmm. She's being strategic. She's being physical.
Yeah.
She is doing everything I didn't expect her to do.
Yeah.
And more.
Yeah, honestly, I'm very impressed with Caroline. She's managed to keep tight alliances and also kind of like reach her arms out a little bit with the merge already. So I'm excited. I also wrote down my first note for Tribal Council. They have this close-up of Caroline. I wrote, Caroline's skin is gorgeous.
No, she has really nice skin.
I don't know. I think it must be something about like the clean diets, the salt water, and the sun.
Clean diet. They got nothing to eat.
It's clean. They're not.
Well, no shit. It's clean. They're not eating.
There's nothing processed out there. Rice.
It's just rice and coconut from the coconut tree.
Yeah, like their skin has fallen out of coconut trees because it's like it must be something about it. All of them, like they have such great skin. It's like
they're eating it.
I need it. I need it.
I want to dive a little bit into this, and I know I say it a lot. This human moment with Tiana. She talks a lot about how important it is for her to just make the jury to be a deciding factor of who's going to win that $1 million. I don't know if she thought that she was in quicksand and she needed to kind of throw a lifeline and get like I don't want to say a pity vote because, you know, it was really raw and that was real emotion. Like I understand where she was coming from, but you know, she definitely reacted a lot. How did that make you feel? Did you feel bad for her? Jury
is such a tough subject, especially now in the new era, because it comes later.
Yeah.
And especially with the way that they've done it in the new era, like they merged 2 episodes ago and we still don't have anybody on the jury.
Yeah.
You know, when jury started pre-new era, once merge happened, you were on the jury.
Yep.
And so I think it's almost like false hope for these new era players. It's kind of like pulling the rug out from under them. I do think it's upsetting. I mean, especially you've gotten that far and okay, you go out pre-merge, you're not really upset about the jury. You didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
You go out 1 vote before the jury. It's starting to weigh on you. Like it's real. It's right there. Like you can see it. And especially as some people who love the game, like we respect the game. All these people out there just have such a love for the game that like if I can't win, I at least want to be involved in the decision making for the winner.
I
just
agree.
Like out of respect and love for the game.
I agree. No, you said it 100% exactly how I feel like most people feel. You know, if you can't be the sole survivor, if you're not in that final tribal, that final 3, final 2 sometimes, you want to be a person who's giving a vote. That's just it's like you said, it's respect to the game. You want to play and you want to, you know, have that impact. You know, you're changing somebody's entire life.
So I think that there's just a lot of weight on the jury.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a lot of weight on the jury.
There's my tangent about the jury.
Listen,
coming to my TED Talk.
Listen, the Sue talk. Oh, Sue. Yeah. So,
ear out.
Ear out. So we get through more parts of tribal. They're about to vote. They go hee hee ha ha.
Yeah.
Rachel pulls out the paper and goes, actually, I'm going home. Y'all can fight this one out.
I got this cute little paper and I'm out.
Yeah. Rachel leaves, and when you see the panic on Tuka's face, they all look at each other like, and
you want to talk about pure, just unadulterated paranoia and shock.
Yeah.
They got him because it went from a 5-1 to
1v1v1v1.
A dog eat dog piranha tank.
Like it's a lot. It's a lot. You know, we have a lot of different relationships there. We have the Tiana, Kyle, and Gabe relationship from earlier in the season. We have the Sue, Gabe, Caroline. We have the Caroline, Sue, Tiana. We have the Gabe and the Kyle. Like, there's so many different aspects to go, so many different roads And at the end of the day, it all came down to what Caroline wanted to do because Sue, and it looked like Sue was obviously going with wherever Gabe was going, which was going towards Tiana. So that's 2 to Tiana. Kyle and Caroline, you know?
Yeah, I really do feel like it kind of came down to 1 or 2 people. I will say this, you know, this is the first moment in this entire season where I feel like I'm disappointed in Sue because I feel like making a move at Gabe right now would have been really beneficial for her because you get him out pre-jury and you know that he's going to be bitter if he was turned on right now. So anybody from Tuku wouldn't have had his vote. It then shows Tiana that you are able to work with her and all of the other women. So you could have started this female alliance by getting out Gabe. And it's a great resume builder. It's a great threat out of the game. And I just feel like I don't know how much their relationship together is going to benefit her if he's in the game as far as if he's out of the game.
And there you have it.
I just feel like it was a missed opportunity to stand on your own for all of them there because Tuku, the votes have kind of been dictated by Gabe from the start.
Yeah.
And she also had an idol. There could have been this big play with her idol, throw it on Tiana, Gabe, you know, even if Caroline didn't vote with her. All it would have taken for Caroline to vote Gabe was Sue. Vote Gabe. Let's do it.
Listen, you make some great points. I can't stand here and accept all of the Gabe slander because I am a fan of Gabe. I like the way he's playing the game.
I think he is a phenomenal Survivor player.
He is a threat for others, and I see how, on Sue's behalf, how that would look great for her, but I don't think that she's looking at it like that. I think that she looks at Gabe as someone who's going to protect her. I think that she looks at her Gabe Caroline alliance as like the trifecta that are going to make it to the end. And I applaud Sue for her loyalty.
I do too. I mean, it's like both sides of the coin. I think that especially in the new era, we haven't really seen any like ride or die duos other than like Charlie and Maria and Shan and Ricard. Like I can't really think of anybody who have like started from the bottom, now we hear, so to speak.
Yeah.
However, I just think down the line this is going to sound bad. And Sue, look, we love you. Sue is Gabe.
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Gabe is more likely, in my opinion, to win an individual immunity than Sue. So down the line, if a group of people is wanting to get at Gabe, they're going to go for Sue. Get out his number 1, cut, his right arm off, and now it creates a target on Sue's back if he does have immunity. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Listen.
Like, because at the end of the day, he's going to protect him.
I mean, not to be a nasty, rancid girl, but these are all if. And at the end of the day...
You heard it here first.
Listen, these are all big ifs, and Sue has only not beaten Gabe. This is the first challenge that Gabe lasted longer than Sue. I got it all written down.
Yeah, me too.
You're going to go back and fact check, and you can go for that. All I'm saying is that I think that Sue is going for that loyalty aspect. I think Gabe, he hasn't proved to me right now. He had one small conversation where he could have potentially flipped. I think that he's riding hard with Sue. I think Sue's riding hard with Gabe.
I just worry about the long term.
Which is understandable, but I think that we need to see Tuku dwindle down a little bit more. A little bit more of Sue's closer allies need to get, voted out of the game for us to have that if about Gabe.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
we don't know.
Have to wait and find out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just don't want her dead set allegiance for her to be like this and like this, and then
blindsided.
She won't. Yeah, she can't see the opportunities because she's so tunnel vision forward. But we're gonna have to see.
We'll see.
We'll see if I predicted it correctly. I hope not.
I hope not.
I hope she doesn't get burned. But the tribal continues.
And
here was my thing. Where was Rachel's like, cool, y'all have fun. I'm out. She leaves. And they're all just kind of like, and they're sitting there. I'm like, the second that Rachel gets up, I'm like, I was like, where's the scramble? Where's the gameplay?
We did get that after.
We did.
But I think that they were just letting Tiana have her moment, and they were like giving eye signals, from behind. Mm-hmm. And then you even heard Tiana say at one point, like, obviously I'm the one who's going home because I'm sitting here crying where everybody's talking behind me.
Yeah.
Like, she's not stupid. I don't know.
You could see the survivor player in Tiana, just
her soul shut down. Her soul was leaving her body. Her survivor soul was starting to leave her body for sure.
Yeah. So we have a scrambling moment. Those eggs were scrambled, and the vote does shake down to 2 on Gabe and 3 on our flight attendant girl, our first ever Hawaiian survivor contestant, Tiana. Sad to see her go.
We're sad to see you go. You were in my top 3.
You were.
I had very high hopes for you. I thought that you were a strong competitor. I felt that you were physically strong. You were socially strong. You looked mentally strong. I was getting great energy from you, and I wish you nothing but the best, honestly.
Yeah, I just think that you were the unfortunate victim of an ill-thought-out twist.
Yeah.
To have a twist layered with a twist is kind of like, okay, like it's too much, in my opinion. I don't know. We can't change it now, obviously. I think that I don't look forward to this twist coming back. I think if they're going to have something like this, it either needs to be before the merge or for the merge.
Agreed. For the merge makes sense.
Yeah, this would be a great twist for the merge, especially because as you're going into the merge, to send somebody an advantage like that is a great building block for a new relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But Tiana, you will be missed. I will say that was one of the most heartbreaking exits.
I cried.
Yeah, I teared up. You could feel it. You could feel literally just the dream be taken away right out from under her. So you did great. You represented, and I think it was great. And you will be missed.
You will be missed. And this has been your reality check of episode 7, season 47 of Survivor. Tiana, you will be missed, but hopefully we get a little bit more insight of what's going to happen with the new Tuku Alliance.
I'm excited because the Survivor auction is back next week in full force.
Yes.
We've had a taste of it, season 45, and I'm just ready for some of these people to spend some money.
Listen.
Get some food. I hope Teeny gets some more potato salad.
Come on.
I'm super excited.
So get some more ribs.
Yeah, I love it. We will see you back next week for episode 8. The Survivor auction is officially back. And we will be right on this couch. Come grab a seat, and we'll see you next week, okay? Bye.
Bye.